Aubrey Wisenhunt. In fifth, we have Savannah Anderson, followed by Holly Warwood, Bailey Hanson, and Madison Sale. Congratulations to each and every one of you. We are going to go ahead and call Class 3. We hope you're close by. We're sharing the microphone with the lambs today, so we're trying to be polite to each other. Cutter Boyle should be entering the show ring with Valley Peaks Livestock Club. Nicholas Stambaugh from the Big Shots 4-H. Lacey Rabbit from Queen Creek Livestock. Cole Wisenhunt from Valley Peaks Livestock. Caitlin Kimkin from Coolidge FFA, followed by Taylor Regan from Valley Peaks Livestock. These steers, give a big round of applause. These steers all weigh between 1,120 pounds to 1,180 pounds. It's beef, it's what's for dinner. They're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Y'all are going to be so shocked how big these steers are this year. We see a lot of exhibitors in the stand that used to show, and we're so glad you come out to support your sister, Tyler, and everybody else. Mission League, glad to see you guys. Thanks for coming out, and all of you all coming out to help support everybody.
Class 2 market lands, another class that I think is very competitive. My partner with that sheet in line there in the third spot. Alright folks, the top two sheep in my opinion are the ones that, they're the ones that most effectively combine muscle and potential carcass merit with a show ring look. And I think the sheep lamb right here, even though she stands there, and you notice that she'll stand there with just a little bit of a rise in the middle of her back. But I don't know if that's natural. She doesn't want to give up and just brace that easily for the young lady. So I don't know if that necessarily comes from the sheep, if you know what I mean. I think that the sheep just didn't want to cooperate quite perfectly. But nonetheless, in spite of that, just study it from all angles. From the rear view image, she's very big in it, very square in her hooking pin. Very full in terms of her leg muscle. There's a lot of volume of leg. I think that she has a precise advantage in terms of of balance. And I just studied her from her elbow to her rear flank, and he took a measurement from the top of her shoulder, from the base of her shoulder, and a measurement in her hook to her flank. And she's better in terms of in that regard right there. So she's the best combination in the class. Congratulations on having the class champion. You bet. The sheep that stands in second, she probably, in terms of her advantages, you can see that she's taller-footed. We took a measurement from the ground to the top of her leg. She stands taller. I like her posture just a little bit better. If you look at the driver in terms of the way she stands up front, I like that. Very level down the top, very square in her hook and pin. The deciding factor here, as I've already said, I think just her run line, we need to modify that just a little bit, but not the nice she lands. Let's go to third. I think here's the U-land is very smooth, you bet me. Very level, very correct in that line. A very good pattern U-land that has some style and some eye appeal. For me, though, I think that if you were to set these three side by side, I think we could all see that there's a difference here just in terms of sheer muscle volume, and that's where she falls a little bit short today. Down to four, young lady. Another team follows suit. Do a nice job. That U-land is very long neck. She has some eye appeal, very smooth shoulder. But especially when we see her get out on the walk, she just doesn't walk with as much clearance between her knees and her hops. She just isn't quite as wide naturally down in her foundation as the sheep that are up above her, but a very nice length. Pop one more, the good fiber two. Here's another one with a huge top. Love the way the young man felt the sheep right around there. Very fresh, extremely difficult. If you want to handle one that's fun to handle, and you can hardly stand that sheep throwing, love that about her. To me, the bottom line is I just need to see her stouter in terms of her bone work. We'd like to see her in diameter for me to really appreciate her. Keep her guys. All of them, I think they all have a lot of good potential carcass merit. Let's give them a round of applause.
Congratulations. First place goes to Shelby Wood. Second place goes to Caitlin Moore. Third place goes to Shelby Reddy.
Yeah, good job, Katie. Good job. Hot damn. She won. Good job, Katie. That's a damn good steer, isn't it?
Entering the ring now will be
Good job. Good job, Katie. Good job, Frank. Hot dog. That was a pretty easy pick, too. He didn't even mess around with that pick, did he? Sir? He didn't even mess around with that pick, did he? Pretty cool. Good deal.
Who is the judge, you know?
His name is Wes. I can't think of his last name. He's a really good judge. He does a lot of fitting clinics. He's one of the probably better judges in the country.
I like the way he plays the first spot group. I saw him do. You have interest in the young lady, I think.
That's my daughter.
Somehow I suspected that.
Yeah, you want to see what he started out like? Oh, that's what he started out at.
Oh, my goodness.
That's far from now yet. Looking for
Change that's taking place in that school.
Pretty amazing, isn't it?
Where's she from?
Coolidge FFA. You been here? You been in town that long?
I lived in Florence for a lot of years.
Well, you know the Kemptons.
Oh, sure.
No, that's who we are.
Is that right?
Mark Kempton's my dad.
Oh, my
Alvin. That's right. Yes, sir. And you probably know Lou Taylor too. He was a World War II veteran. He was a POW. He lived out there at Cactus Forest. Lewis Taylor.
Another fun class to sort here on the cattle side. We've got an obvious winner to be in this particular steer at the top of the class. Very muscular, very three-dimensional and expressive down his top and back through his quarters. A steer that moves with a lot of natural base width when you watch him go. He's a steer that's got some hair on him, and obviously that always helps their appearance, but that's not why he goes where he does. This steer would be at the top of this particular class with hair or slick either way. Now, he's not the prettiest fronted one in here, I'll sure admit that. He gets a little bigger headed and a little shorter fronted, if you will, as you view him from the side. But if you want to look at one that's just got total body mass from flank to flank, this particular steer fits the bill. Got some depth, got some outward turn to his rib. When you get your hands on him, he handles pretty firm and smooth from his 13th rib forward. Uh-oh, we got one loose right here. Oh, Houdini here that's going to come in second. This is a pretty nice cat. He's a steer that's really got some muscle shape. He's a steer that's got some body depth and volume. When you get your hands on him, you kind of like the way he feels. This steer simply gets too upright in his shoulder. If you watch him move, he'll get a little shorter and choppier in his stride off his front end. He's a steer that just doesn't move out with the athletic ability off either end as our class winner. But if you can look past that structure and angulation that this steer needs, it's a pretty complete kind of calf. Uniform in his body depth from flank to flank, fairly soft in his appearance, and I think he's a logical choice for second in this particular drive. Stagger-legged baldy here that goes third is a little bigger frame for this particular set. Because he's a steer that goes third simply on his structure and his look. You get back and see him from the side, he's pretty attractive up to his front end. He's got some body depth, and he's probably as good a moving steer as anything we've got in this particular class. He could use a shot of muscle when you get right behind him, particularly down into the lower third of his quarter. Probably not quite as expressive in his overall muscle shape as the two that's preceding, but he falls into that third hole because of completeness. He's a steer that just doesn't have a big major flaw, and I like that about him. The steer that we come with next is one that when you get behind him, boy, you gotta like that about him. He's a steer that's really wide down in the lower third of his quarter. He's got some bulge in his stifle. He's got some natural muscle shape, and I appreciate that about this cat. He kind of gives up a little bit in terms of balance. If you compare his underline to his top line, he gets pretty tight and shallow in that rear flank, throws his balance off a notch when you compare the depth of his flank to the depth of his chest. We can change that about him. He can move up in this particular class. Much the same with the next cat. I thought both of them needed to be changed just a little bit in terms of balance and overall shape. Here's a steer that gets a little more rigid and upright in his shoulder, a little flatter in his muscle shape when you get behind him. The other man does a good job of getting him shown. The steer that we conclude the class with just comes to us in a greener and harder appearance today than some of the cattle ahead of him. Nice calf, no glaring structural issues. Steer that's got a little shape when you get behind him. Just simply needs more time on feed, needs to soften up a little bit to compete with cattle ahead of him today. Let's give these kids a nice round of applause.